السلام عليكم. كيفكم شباب؟ We have another lesson. بدنا نقدم درس اليوم إن شاء الله كتير مفيد ومهم. لأنه we're talking about today, we're going to talk about something that's very, very, one of the most important words we have, which is coming from this jadr. And it's salam mim. So what is the word? It's salam. Salam. By the way, I'm wearing this shirt today. It's salam, al-hub, al-shawarma, والشاورما. This is a shirt that we sell. Check it out. It's in our store. This shirt's actually over a year old. But the design, I designed it myself. And check it out. We have other designs in there. And these are great shirts. It's peace, love, and shawarma. So, salam, the first word today we're going to look at is salam from salima. Okay? From salama. All right? Now, salam, the idea behind salam is everybody who knows Arabic pretty much knows this word. It means peace. So, it's a general term for peace. And the idea is, يعني, بدون khilaf, بدون khilafat. There's no, like, discord. There's insijam, more like harmony, if you will. So, that's the word salam. Now, we use this word quite a bit, mostly in greetings, like I said in the beginning, assalamu alaikum. So you can walk into a room or into, anywhere you're going, and if you're going in, you're supposed to say assalamu alaikum. So this is it's got a religious tint to it, the meaning, the usage of it. But you can also, instead of just saying assalamu alaikum, you can shorten it and people say, when you leave, you can say salam, okay? Not without alif lam. You say salam. You can say yalla salam. That's how we leave. When we leave, if I'm leaving, I'll say yalla salam. Or you might say ma' is salama, which is the next word. Is salama or salama. Ma' salama means, or ma' salame means go with safety, like with peace, safety. That's the idea, well-being or good health. So salame, unlike salam, it's gonna take a tint, if you will, of like well-being. For example, we might say, if someone's in the hospital and we visit them, or they're sick, we might say salamtek, or for girls, salamtik. All right, salamtek means get well soon. I hope you feel better. Yeah, that's what that means. So it means health, but it's this general idea of having good well-being, like you're wishing someone good well-being, okay? Like Godspeed to you, kind of like that. So it's this idea of peace, and this is what salam is. Now, salam here could mean inner peace as well. So you can say, يعني salam al-dakhili, okay? That would mean that you have peace inside. يعني salam biqalbak, in your heart. But salame, this one is more for health and well-being, okay? So that's why we say salame, all right? Also, if you hear somebody's sick, you heard from somebody that your friend is sick, you might say about that person who's sick, salamat, so that might be used there. Salame can also be used in travel situations. So if someone's leaving the country, you might say, are they going on a long trip? You might say, we commonly say, تروح وترجع بالسلامة. إن شاء الله تروح وترجع بالسلامة. That means, I hope you have a safe trip. All right, have a safe trip. That's what it means. And then when they come back, after we see them, first time they come back, or we haven't seen them and we know they just came back from a trip recently, we would say to them, Alhamdulillah as-salame. Alhamdulillah al-salame. Which means, glad you had a safe trip. Or praise God for a safe trip. Kind of like that. Glad you got back safely. That's the idea. So salame is used a ton. And in fact, probably more than salam, except for the one greeting, assalamu alaikum. And people also say, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. These things are used quite a bit. But let's go to the next one. Salima min. Now, salima min is the Fusha version of this silim min. Okay? This is the verb from this jadr. It's the form 1 verb from the jadr. All right? From this particular root. This is the form 1 verb for it in Fusha. So, but let's talk about the Ammiya, how we use it, because the Fusha is the same. It's just that this is a, and this is e. So, silim. So we might say, the idea first off for salim, all right, salima or silim, is that something is at peace, unaffected from something that could happen to them, okay, from any evil or any problems. So, for example, we would use this quite commonly in a lot of, we use these in a lot of phraseology, all of these. But here's one we might say. We might say, Yislam idik. If someone gives you something or does a service for you and hands you something or brings you something or does some work, you might say to them, it's a nice thing to say, is Yislam idik. Yislam idik. The idea is that there's good things that you're wishing them for their hands, that their hands would be in peace, is literally what it means. Peace to your hands, or your hands be in peace, idik. So that's just saying, thanks a lot, bless your hands, or whatever is the idea. Okay? So silim min, okay, when we say min, now we're saying someone got out of a situation, they made it through peacefully, safely, that whatever happened did not cause any problem to them. No injury, no jurha, okay, or anything like that. So we might say, Ana slimat min al-sanha. Ana slimat min al-sanha means she basically she said them things or attacked me verbally or whatever, or tried to cause me problems, maybe was rude to me. But when I say slimat min al-sanha or slimat minha, okay, what I'm saying is I did not allow what she said to affect me, okay? So I got through it and I'm okay. I'm not, I'm at peace. So the idea here with this is that you're looking for, in this jadr, the root essence meaning is peace from problems or from bad things that could happen to you, either in your spirit, in your mind, or in physicality, okay, through war and stuff like that. So, slimit min al-sano, slimit minno, or slimit min al-hadith, okay, there was a hadith, which means, or hadith, which means an accident, a car accident, and I got through it okay, like I wasn't harmed or injured. So that's how we use this silim min. And there are other things we might say too, but that's a general idea. Next one is silm. Silm is the masdar from this jadr, salama. Salam is also the masdar. And this is a masdar. So you have three masadir just from form 1. And these are very common, okay? So silm, some people might say also selm, okay? But silm is more often the way that we would say silm is it means peace. So it's just like salam, but here's the difference, okay? We could say salam al-alami, all right? Which is like world peace. And we could say is-silm al-alami, is-silm al-alami, world peace. But silm, we would not say is-salam al-mujtama'i, all right? We would not say that, which means like communal peace or, something like that, or societal peace. Silm is silm al-mujtama'i, we would say. And that just means that there's peace between people in the community. Like there's no problem. Like Jordan, for example, we could describe Jordan as having يعني السلم المجتمعي. But that's not the case with, for example, Iraq. Iraq, or Syria, there are problems in these places, So, السلم المجتمعي is a phrase we might say, or we might say السلم الأهلي. السلم الأهلي is the same thing. It's like for the country, So that's the idea, الأهلي, which is أهل is people, like شعب, people, or أهل could mean family. But we're not going to get into too much of that. Like أهلي are my parents. All right. Now, silmi, silmiyin. Silmi is mostly used. This is an adjective from silm, and it is mostly used to describe. It can describe things or people, but we use it, for example, like we would say, المظاهرات كانت سلمية. All right. Or we might say مظاهرات سلمية. All right, so that means peaceful demonstrations, okay? Peaceful demonstrations. So, the next one we might say يعني بدنا حل سلمي. We want a peaceful solution. حل سلمي. Or we could say this man هو شخص سلمي. Okay, شخص سلمي is he's a peaceful person. There's not problems. Could be used as well. But typically, you're going to have it in things like خطوة, يعني خطوة سلمية, a peaceful step, a peaceful step, or حل or حلول سلمية, like peaceful solutions, stuff like that. All right, this one, سلم, okay, سلم سلالم, is actually the word for ladder. So this has absolutely zero to do with the root essence meaning here. So this is what we'd say an istithna, an exception to the rule, which, language is living, right? So there are going to be exceptions, but up until now, you've seen in these videos, there are very few exceptions. They're going to run along a particular namat, or a particular type of way, if you will, a system. So, salam means ladder. Salalim is the plural, ladders. Okay? If it's a footstool, we would say something like, I think it's salam gasir, maybe like that. But salam is actually used to mean, it's not used to mean stairs, except for in Egypt. So they actually say salam to mean a stair, We would say daraj, all right? Daraj or stairs, or darje is like a stair, one stair, all right? Okay, so the next one is salim, sulamat. Salim is mostly used in language. We might, for describing what somebody, a sentence, for example, we would say jumle, يعني جملتك سليمة. Your sentence is correct. So it's a healthy sentence. So salime, a healthy sentence. It has all the things that you need in there. It's not an incorrect sentence. We might also say الفقرة سليمة. The paragraph is healthy, like the ideas, the way you put the sentences in there, it looks good. Or we might say يعني بصراحة فكرتك أو أفكارك سليمة. Like what someone says, كلامك سليم. The words you said, or what you just said, makes sense. It's منطقي. It's rational. It makes sense. All right, salim. So that's mostly what we would use that for. Here, so salim, it means something that is healthy or in good, it's in good working order. You could say it for someone, like they came from the hospital, Salim, I guess. But it's not used as much as in this respect. We would say يعني رجع بالسلامة, or طلع طلع بالسلامة. But we do have a phrase that's commonly used with this. إجت سليمة. إجت سليمة. Now, it doesn't mean a girl, her name is Salime, she came. No, that's not what it means. إجت سلامة is something that's said when you want to express, I'm glad nothing bad happened. إجت سليمة means if you were to have an accident and you were okay, somebody could say إجت سليمة, alhamdulillah, إجت سليمة. So this is what that means. And it could be said for a guy, girl. It's always إجت سليمة. Best, all right? Next one, salami. Okay, so salami it could mean salam with E, which means my peace. So we could say إبعت سلامي لشخص معين. So like send my regards is what it means. Send my regards to such and such a person. However, you need to know that a lot of times you could see this written in the meat market or something like that because salami is salami. So that's the way we spell salami. All right, so salami is spelled like that. And that's, of course, a foreign loan word. But it just so happens to have the same words here, or letters. So salim, salmin. Salim used a lot, and this is going to be for someone, we would say, for example, كل عام وانتم بخير, or انت بخير, which means like happy birthday, or we use it during the time of an Eid, يعني كل عام وانت بخير, at رأس السنة, for example. Or we could use this one, Salim. We'd say كل سنة وانت سالم, or انتو سالمين. كل سنة وانتو سالمين, which means you're in good health, good. You're in a peaceful state or something like that. So that's what salim means. All right, let's go see the next one. All right, well, let's go to the next one here. This is going to be, all these you just saw are from Form 1. All these words from Form 1. Now we're going to get to Form 2 words. Here we go. The first one, of course, is the verb, salam, or sallama in Fusha, sallama. All right? So sallam means, literally, it means to give peace to someone, or to have, like to offer peace, okay? And what do we use this for? In Arabic, the meaning we would say in English would be to greet, okay? To greet someone. He greeted, sallam. All right, huwa sallam. All right, that means greet, or to also, it could mean to turn in or to give over. So I could say, سلمت واجباتي للمس امبارح. All right, I turned in my homework to the teacher yesterday. So سلمت means I turned over. Or we could say, the people after يعني بعد الحرب سلموا أسلحتهم. يعني أسلحة means their weapons. So they turned over or gave up their weapons. So sallam means to give over, or it could mean to greet. Two different meanings there. So the next one, sallim ala. Sallim ala, this can mean, essentially it means to give your peace to someone. He gave his peace to someone. Basically, to greet, he greeted someone. And this is how we say, ala means to someone. So, sallim ala. If I say sallim ala, that means say hello to. سلم على يعني أبوك. All right. Now, we would say سلم لي, all right, which means say hello for me على أبوك, to your dad. All right. So we say this very typically. Very typically we say this. And then someone might say وصلت. يعني وصلت is your greeting has it's done. I'll say hello, or it's done. I'll do it for you. All right. So سلم على means to greet someone, either verbally or with the typical kiss or a handshake, either or any. Next, taslim. Taslim means literally it's the masdar from salam, and it means to turn over, or surrender something. Okay, taslim, to give over. All right, so this would be taslim الواجبات, موعد تسليم الواجبات بكرة. All right, so I'd say the time for turning in your homework is tomorrow. Okay, taslim, or anything that's you could, we use it typically for this, taslim. But salam, the verb, is more used than taslim. Taslim, though, is the gerund or the noun from it. Now you have, still from form 2, musallim. Musallim is the ism al-fa'al from this. And musallim means the person giving over, or the one musallim. We use it more, though, in a verbal sense. So I might say, يعني أنا مسلم امبارح أنا مسلم أنا مسلم الواجبات امبارح, for example. أنا مسلم البحث امبارح. So that means I have turned in the homework yesterday. I have turned in the homework yesterday. So it is the idea, kind of a verbal idea, if you will, on it. But it could mean a noun as well. Okay, so let's take a look at the next one. من المسلمات. من المسلمات. The translation would be those things which we take for granted, or of those things that we take for granted. So, what does it literally mean? Musallamat. So, those things which are given over. Those things which are a given, okay? They're a given. They're things we just take for granted. Like, من المسلمات, we could say, الإنارة بالبيت, من المسلمات السلام, we could say السلم المجتمعي. So these are things like communal peace we take for granted. But these things don't actually happen in many countries around the world. So we could say that about things that we take for granted. Okay? من المسلمات. That's how we use that. Other than that, we don't use the ism al-maf'ul here with this as much, just in this instance mostly. All right? The next one now is from form 3. Okay, so we had form 1, form 2, and now we're getting into form 3. This is the verb, salama in Fusha, or salam in Ammiya. What does it mean? Well, salam means he kept the peace with. With who? With someone. So, وسالم مع أهله. He kept the peace with his parents. Salam مع حماته. He kept the peace with his mother-in-law. So that's what that means, form 3. And it's keeping the peace. So with form 3, it's one-sided. He is the one keeping the peace, okay? Now, the next one, musalim, this is an adjective that we use more often than any other adjective for peaceful. So this means, musalim means peace-loving or peaceful. So we would say الأردنيين مسالمين أو شعب الأردني مسالمين, or musalim, musalim for shab. So this means peace-loving, people who keep the peace. They are, the adjective, it means peaceful, but the idea when you think about this particular word is they keep the peace, okay? They're actively pursuing peace, and that's the idea, musalim, all right? Next one, musalame. Musalame is the masdar from salam, all right? And this simply means, it's a gerund noun, keeping the peace, keeping the peace. So I could say, ما في مسالمة مع الشخص. There's no keeping the peace with this person. Because we could say this person is شخص مجادل. You know, شخص مجادل means they are argumentative. All right? So that's musalama from form 3. As you can see right here, form 3. Now we're going to move in form 4, okay, which is the next one. And this is aslama. So aslama has two meanings. And one of them has to do with religion, and the other has to do with, that's less used, has to do with like form 2. But let's go and look at the religious meaning of it. Aslam means he became a Muslim. All right, Aslam, he became a Muslim. Aslamat, she became a Muslim. Okay, so that's how this is used, and it's almost always used only in the past tense in this particular meaning. While with the other meaning, it's kind of like a form 2, and this is the literal original meaning of the word, aslama, and this is more fusha as well. This other meaning is more fusha. Aslama means he surrendered over or gave over, and it's kind of like this idea of will, his will, or his he resigned, or like he resigned to give something over or surrendered it over, kind of like form 2, but more in a deeper sense of abandonment. Okay, so that's the idea. Aslama ila means to someone. You could say ilallah, or what have you. So that's the idea there. And now you have the masdar from form 4, which is where we get the word Islam. That's where we get the word Islam. Islam, you could say ad-din al-Islami, which is the adjective. I didn't put the word up here. I'm not going to put it up. But Islami is the adjective. So Islamic. We could say ad-dawla al-Islamiyya, which means is an Islamic state, the Islamic state. Ad-dawla al-Islamiyya, or hal balad Islami. This country is Islamic. All right? So, Islam, though, means the name of the religion, or it could also mean, in a fusha, older sense, that's not used colloquially as much, but it could mean a resignation of something, or giving over, or surrendering of something. Okay? So now we have completed at least this screen. But wait, there's more. يعني في أكثر من هيك. There's at least, I think, 28 words from this jadar salama. So we're just going to let you see this on the screen, these words, and then we're going to move over to screen 2 in just a sec. طيب يلا جاهزين? Let's see. خلينا نشوف الباقي. All right. Here we are. We have the last one of form 4. Okay, we had the previous 3 you just saw. Muslim is the last word from form 4. Muslim, I don't need to say anything. Everybody knows. Everybody, if you don't know Arabic, you still know what Muslim means. It's a person who is an adherent to the religion of Islam. All right? However, what is the literal meaning of Muslim? Well, it goes with form 4, which means abandoning or giving over. So Muslim is one who, people say submit. I guess you could say one who submits, but the meaning is more like one of abandonment, like total giving over. That's what the idea is, Muslim. And of course you have the feminine muslime and muslimin. All right? Aside from that, we don't use this except for in the religious meaning. If you go into Fusha, maybe in some literature you might find it used in a different way. in the idea of aslama li or ila. You could find it in that one, abandon something or abandon someone to whatever, or himself. That could be possible, but not as much. Okay, so let's look at the next one from Form 5. And this is it. It is اتسلم. اتسلم. Now, you might say, well, wait a minute. You didn't pronounce the fatha. تسلم. Well, in Fusha we would write تسلم. But in Ammiya we say اتسلم, as if it was a sukoon there. So, what does Form 5 mean? Well, Form 5 almost always will simply take Form 2 meaning and put was in front of it. So, was surrendered. It's got kind of an ism al-maf'ul type of nature to this, which is like a passive, if you will. So, it means was turned in. So, الواجبات تسلموا, okay, أول امبارح. The homework was turned in day before yesterday. اتسلم. Or الأسلحة اتسلمت للسلطة, all right, to the authorities, all right. So اتسلم. That's how that's used. And then we have تسالم مع. تسالم مع is Form 6. It's اتسالم مع means it has this idea of Form 3, because this is the brother to Form 3, just like اتسلم is the brother to Form 2. So the brother to Form 3 is shared action. Okay, shared action. اتسالم مع. All right, سالم مع means was like given over to or made peace with the idea of something. So, or made peace with. But you can use it like Salam, like he made peace or he kept the peace with. But this is more of an idea. It does take a little bit of a unique meaning in that we would say يعني هو اتسالم يعني عنده سرطان وتسالم مع فكرة الموت. Okay? So he came to grips with, or he is okay with. Okay? Was okay with or was at peace with. That's why we say fikrat. Okay? The idea of. So that's what that means. It's salam ma. And you could say, for example, anything. It could be divorce or something that's difficult that you have to make. You're making peace with the idea of talaq. So that might be something that's used for as well. So Form 6 now. We have the next one, Form 8. Notice the ta there. That's a Form 8. And this is a little tricky. Sometimes people confuse Form 8 with Form 10 because especially when you have a sin as the first letter of the jadr. Because the Form 10 is known for alif sin ta as a prefix to the word. But this is in fact istalam because there is only one sin. All right? So istalam, I use this quite a bit. A lot of people use it. Just means he received. He received something. It could be a tard, like a package. It could mean an email. I use this a lot. استلمت الإيميل أو ما استلمت الإيميل منك. I didn't get the email from you. I didn't receive it. So استلم means to receive. And that's the idea of to have handed over to him. Okay, have something handed over to him. So this is the idea of to give over. All right. So you get peace, okay, from the idea of peace, safety, turning over oneself, okay, like giving oneself over to something to have peace. Like even when you say we're going to surrender the weapons, يعني بدنا نسلم, okay, الأسلحة, all right. That's where the original idea came from, and then what happens with the 10-form system is it expands out. So that's why you get a meaning of he received, because it's coming off of the idea of to make peace, and this idea of surrendering something or oneself. Istalama means he received, okay? Because it's the opposite. It's the receiving end of the giving over. So istalam, received. Now we also use this phrase here, istalam الموضوع. أنا استلمت الموضوع خلاص. Or خلينا نعطي الموضوع يعني لشخص. هي خليها تستلم الموضوع. Means let her take it over. Basically means take care of the issue, okay? To take it into her hands and to take care of it. Or if I say استلمت الموضوع خلاص, I'm taking care of it. Basically that's what it means for anything. All right. The next is istilam, which is the noun, the masdar from istalam, istilam. So istilam would be, we use it most often for if you want to go pick up something like take out, all right? Take out, they would say, يعني بدك توصيل أو استلام. So we'd say istilam. Okay, that means I'm going to get in my car, I'm going to go get it. I'm going to receive it from them. That's the idea. I'm going to receive it from them. Okay, so take out is like receive. But it could be used in these as well. You know, it's just a noun from it. All right, next one is mustalim. Mustalim is the person who's the receiver. Okay, so mustalimin. Mustalim means maybe the receiver of the phone call. Okay, mustalim al-telephone. But we don't use this as much. It's kind of technical, it's more formal. We would say يعني رديت على التلفون. الشخص اللي رديت على التلفون. مين رد على التلفون. يعني who answered the phone. So, mustalim though is the person who receives. Okay? Mustalim an email, maybe in a legal sense, of like who got the email. Okay? Now that's all those are from Form 8. And we're going to hit the last form now that's used, that is used for this jabr, is Form 10. Notice we have istaslam. You have two scenes. All right, you have the alif sin ta, and then you have the jabr at the end there, salam mim. So istaslam is basically like or similar to it's similar to itsalam. All right? Remember, itsalam means that they were okay with or came to grips with or at peace with something. He was at peace with something. Well, that in the end they surrendered to the idea of their own death or their divorce or whatever it may be. This though means surrendering but not wanting to surrender. Okay? So surrendering against your own will, but you have to. So istaslam means he gave up. Khalas, he gave up. Istaslamet, I give up. You know, that's the idea. Istaslamet means I give up. Istaslamet ila means he gave up or he surrendered to someone, okay, or to something. All right? So istislam is the masdar, means surrendering or giving up. Istislam, like we use this, they say, ما في istislam, yalla shabab. You know, there's no giving up, no surrender. Let's go, let's do it. Bad idea. And then that you can see here, that's Form 10. So let's take a look at this screen. We've now completed pretty much all the words from this jadar, salam mim. And by the way, this is found in Aramaic, in Hebrew, in all the Semitic languages. It's a very important word. It was most likely spoken by Abraham himself and by many other biblical characters that you know of. Of course, it's used very much in Islam by Muslims worldwide. And this is a really good one for you to know. So I hope you learned a lot from this lesson, and منشوفك ومنشوفكم المرة الجاي.